being implemented full scale across the country. We also made the determination that in the past we have lost many lives. One, because there isn't a proper emergency service, and that many accident victims, when they get to the hospital, they are asked who is going to pay the bill. And sometimes they are asked, where is the deposit for us, for a hospital to give service? As a government, and to sort out that problem, which was giving us a very serious outcome with many deaths. People die the first few minutes after an accident or when they get to hospital and they are not attended immediately. So as a result, under the universal health coverage in SHA, we have also established the Emergency Critical Care Fund. And henceforth, every accident, when a victim arrives in hospital, the first 24 hours is paid for by SHA for everybody, those who are registered or those who are not registered. And I'm very proud that over the last 1.5 years, that service has been made available, and we are on course in providing adequate resources to make sure that that service is available to all Kenyans. It is the reason why in the budget and the finance bill that I'm going to sign on Tuesday, we have enhanced the resources that are going to PHC from 13 billion Kenya shillings to 18 billion Kenya shillings to make sure that we cover every aspect of the commitments we have made to the people of Kenya. Allow me now to also speak to one more thing. When I had an engagement with the leadership of St. John, they told me that they have only 4 ambulances that have been registered under SHA because the other ambulances are not ready. I have instructed the Ministry of Health, because of what St. John Ambulance Kenya does, especially on matters emergency, and the training you have done for many of our young people. When I see this great congregation of young people trained on not what they can get, but what they can give. Therefore, we will also do 2 things for St. John. I've instructed the Ministry of Health to buy an additional 15 ambulances. Modern ambulances, and register them with St. John Ambulance and register them with SHA so that they can be covered, and all emergency services provided will be paid for by SHA. And number 2, I have also asked the Minister Aden Duale to work with Parliament to review the legislation that establishes this great organization, and that from next year we will provide as government a supporting budget of 100 million shillings every year. And we are doing this because the young people I see here from the Dolphins, are they? dolphins, all the way. I am really proud of this great organization. Pongezi. I have been informed that there are 62,000 members, different categories, from dolphins all the way to cadets and all the other senior people in this great organization. And you are selfless in what you do. You are not thinking about self, you are thinking about others. And because of the mentorship that I see in these young people, because I see the culture that is being inculcated in these young people, I am persuaded that this organization deserves every support of the government of Kenya. And that I commit. Let me also say that as we mentor the young people of our nation, vijana wetu wa Kenya ni wa muhimu sana. Our children are a blessing to every mother, father, and family. And that is the reason why we must invest whatever resources. I am very proud that St. John is participating in one of our very critical aspects, that is saving every mother who has gone to give birth and saving every newborn child, making sure that none of them is lost. We have bought equipment for 635 hospitals around Kenya to make sure that no mother and no child is lost during childbirth. We must give every child a chance to live, and we must give every mother the opportunity to bring forth life in Kenya. And that is why progressively we have invested in universal health coverage, because it is a duty imposed on us by the Constitution of Kenya that every Kenyan is entitled to proper health care. It must be universal. It is not right, and I say this without any fear of any contradiction, it is not right that there can be citizens who cannot go to hospital. They prefer to stay at home and possibly die because they have no means to pay. It is the reason why universal health coverage, it is the reason why SHA is central to our development as a country. It gives every Kenyan an opportunity to live and to get attention, medical attention. Na nimesema na nitarudia. Pale nyuma tulikuwa na bima ya afya ambayo ilikuwa inashughulikia watu wachache. Lazima uwe na kazi, lazima uwe na pesa, lazima uwe na uwezo. Tukasema afya sio starehe ya watu matajiri, wale wako na kazi, wale wako na pesa, wale wako na uwezo. Afya ni haki ya kila Mkenya. Sehemu ya 43 ya katiba ya Kenya inasema hivyo. Na ndio sababu SHA sasa inashughulikia kila Mkenya. Wale walio na ajira, wasio na ajira, wale wako na kazi, wale wasio kuwa na kazi. That is how we want to move. Na pia niseme mbali na afya, ili kuwakuza hawa watoto wetu sisi kama wazazi, and I speak proudly today on Father's Day as a father myself. I speak to other fathers. And I want to say this to my fellow fathers in Kenya. Fatherhood is a sacred responsibility centered on spiritual leadership provision and guidance. Sisi wote tuliobarikiwa kuwa wazazi tuko na majukumu, and I say this on this very significant day, that every father, you must know that fatherhood is a sacred responsibility. To lead your family, to pray. Every father is the chief priest of their families. And to provide for your family and to guide your family, especially your children. Proverbs 22:6 says this: teach your child about the way to go. Even when they grow old, they will not depart from it. I say this to every father. When we see our children doing whatever it is that they are doing, we must hold ourselves responsible as fathers, because it is a sacred responsibility that we have, and we must discharge it as fathers. Naomba wazazi, hasa kina baba wetu, there is no child without a father. Yes. The same way there is no child without a mother. So we must carry that responsibility. Allow me now to speak directly to the young people before me today. One of the most important lessons of St. John Ambulance is that emergencies do not happen. More often than not, they begin with a choice. A driver chooses speed over caution. A passenger chooses not to wear a seat belt. Someone chooses carelessness around a fire. Someone chooses violence instead of restraint. Then, in a matter of moments, lives are changed forever, and many times for the worse. The volunteers of St. John know this reality better than most. They arrive after the choice has been made. They witness the consequences. They see the injuries, the grief, and the regret. They hear the questions that come too late. Why did I do it? Why didn't I stop? Why didn't someone speak up? These past few weeks, our nation has regrettably carried the pain of losing young lives in places where children should have been safest. We mourn those lives. We stand with their families, and we pray for the healing of those who are injured. Our young people must draw lessons from these incidences. Every choice carries a consequence. Some consequences are temporary, others are permanent. They can alter the course of your life, damage your reputation, stain your record, and leave a burden on your conscience that you will carry for many years. To the young people of our country, I say this: character is not forged in life's grand moments alone. It is shaped in the choices you make every day. When you are angry, when no one is watching, when it is easier to follow the crowd, and when your conscience is calling you to stand apart from it. The easiest thing to do in the world is to follow the crowd. The hardest thing is to stand apart from it. Yet, that is where character is revealed. In the willingness to make the right decision, even when it is the unpopular one. Yours is a free country. You have the freedom to dream, freedom to speak, freedom to become all that you can be. But freedom and responsibility are inseparable. You cannot claim one and reject the other. Freedom without responsibility is not freedom. It is recklessness. And recklessness always has a cost. Sometimes the person who pays that bill is you. Sometimes it is someone entirely innocent. That is why I am so proud of the cadets standing before me today, in a generation encouraged to think first of itself. You have chosen discipline over impulse, service over self, and responsibility over indifference. Kenya needs more young people who run towards problems to solve them, not towards trouble to cause it. We need more builders than destroyers, more helpers than bystanders, and more healers than those who cause harm. Be that generation. Be the generation that understands that every action matters, every choice counts, and every choice carries consequences. Be the generation that leaves Kenya safer, kinder, and stronger than you found it. Ladies and gentlemen, St. John's Ambulance Kenya remains a valued partner in our efforts to build a healthier and more resilient nation. Through the Social Health Authority and Every Woman Everywhere initiative, Every Woman Every Newborn initiative, the Community Health Promoters Program, and the National Disaster Risk Management Act, we are building systems that place people at the center. We recognize St. John's Ambulance Kenya not merely as a volunteer organization, and it is a great one, but a strategic national partner in safeguarding the lives of people. To every volunteer, every cadet, and every officer gathered here today, you are an extraordinary 62,000 strong national asset. Your value cannot be measured in shillings or cents. It is measured in lives saved, suffering eased, and hope restored. Let us build a Kenya where every citizen is ready to help another, where no mother loses her life while giving life, where no child is lost in a place meant to keep them safe, where freedom and responsibility walk hand in hand, and where compassion is recognized as a strength and not a weakness. Nimesema asante sana kwa kunitembelea. Nimefurahi sana kuwaona. You people are smart. I mean, yani tukusema ukweli, you are smart. And you are good people. And you are a big asset for our nation. I am so, so proud of you guys, and I am proud to be patron of this great organization. I commit as patron to support you and to work with you so that St. John's Ambulance Kenya can continue to deliver the great service that they do in the Republic of Kenya, and to mentor and to develop and to support and to train more young people to be the responsible citizens that I see in this great gathering. Pongezi for stepping forward as volunteers. You had many choices to make, but you chose not to gain, but you chose to serve. and to give. Mimi nawaambia asante sana. You have my support. You have the support of the administration that I lead, and we will make sure that St. John's Ambulance Kenya grows from one level to another. I am very confident that next year we will have cause to celebrate even more, because we will have saved more lives and we will have done better than we are today. Mukirudi nyumbani, si mtasalimia wazazi wenu jameni? Mtawasalimia? Mtanisaidia kupeleka salamu zangu kwao? Very good. Na nimefurahi sana mumenitembelea hapa asubuhi ya leo. Mukirudi nyumbani muwe na safari njema. Nyinyi wote najua wengi wenu mnasoma shuleni, na watakia heri na masomo yenu. I just want to assure you that we will continue to invest in you as we invest in the education of all our children. Kwa mambo yenu ya elimu, budget ambayo mimi nitaweka sahihi hapo baada ya siku ya kesho, tumeongeza budget ya kusomesha watoto wetu kutoka bilioni 702 mpaka bilioni 784, kuhakikisha ya kwamba